Message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
This is Trooper Keith Bell with the Nebraska State Patrol. The holiday season is here, and Nebraskans will be traveling near and far. This time of year is wonderful for spending time with family, but it takes safe roadways to make sure every seat is filled at the family table. As you gather during the holidays, always make sure to have a sober driver if your celebrations involve alcohol. Together, let's make the holiday season bright for families across Nebraska. Thank you and drive safely.
This message presented by the Nebraska State Patrol, the Nebraska Broadcasters Association, and the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I think it's just vapor.
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes.
My kid
knows it's dangerous.
5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
A Shiro's work is never done. You care for the house, the kids, and our future. We're so grateful for all you do. Now it's time to care for yourself and save a little more for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to boost your retirement savings now. Visit aceyourretirement.org/Shiro today.
A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the 93.7 The Ticket studio. From the heart of Lincoln, America, this is What's Next 24. With the authors of Next 24, Michael Worrell and Sherry Tills.
All right, welcome in to Ticket Sundays. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos as always. This is What's Next 24. We got the host Mike and Sherry in studio to my left as always. If you guys want to join in, 402-464-5685. That is the Starter Heyman text line. And of course, you can put a face to the voice, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, channel 961 as well. We got a guest streaming in today. But before we get there, I'll go ahead and throw it over to the host. We got Mike and Sherry in studio.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to What's Next on 93.7 The Ticket. Today's December 29th, and we are set to celebrate the New Year's 2025. New beginnings and have an amazing show lined up for you today. We encourage you to text our guest. Harrison, what's our text line so people can text in?
Yeah, as always, 402-464-5685. And all the Sunday shows, you can feel free to hit up that line.
Yep. And I thought, boy, what a great theme for today. A life of a Nebraska walk-on. Wasn't that a great game yesterday? Nebraska win, a New Year's celebration coming around.
Man, I mean to tell you.
So it's going to be a great show. Sherry, why don't I pivot to you? Why don't you introduce our special guest?
Okay. First of all, before we do that, I'm just want to talk a little bit. Are we having some feedback here?
Yeah, if you're hearing that too, go ahead. Sorry about that. Go ahead and try that mic right next to Mike there. Go ahead and.
Is that better?
Yeah, we'll see if this one.
Okay. But Mike's not getting.
Okay, that one's not quite. We're having some. So we'll...
Hello, Lincoln.
Okay.
We'll get this. Okay. Maybe I'm too close.
Yeah, we'll have to keep troubleshooting this one. So okay. I'll tell you what, Mike, we'll throw it over to you and Sherry. We're gonna have you slide over on one of these mics over here.
We'll do that.
All right, that's okay.
So, Mike, you're good right there on that. Your mic, no problem there. Yeah, okay. We're gonna have Sherry slide over. So, Mike, apologies for everybody listening, but who do we got for streaming in today? Okay, apologies to everybody. We got some just kind of screeching through the audio there. I'll tell you what, if you guys are driving in your car and you hear screeching, let us know. 402-464-565. Hopefully we can get this thing shored up here. And just not to give it away here, but we do got a great guest in here, and I want you guys to be able to get the quality audio. So, Mike, guys, again, hopefully we don't hear any screeching.
Nope, we're all corrected now. Sounds a lot better.
All right, Sherry, we'll give you. Go ahead.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that sounds
there.
much
We
better.
go.
Okay. All right.
All right, Sherry, why don't you introduce our special guest?
Yes. Well, but first of all, Mike, I'm going to talk. I just want to talk to Lincoln just real quick, you guys. I mean, of course, everybody knows New Year's is coming up here in a couple days. And, we talk about our book a lot. And the holidays are such a mixed bag for so many people. Lots of up and down roller coasters, emotion wise, so I guess besides wanting to wish y'all happy New Year's, and we brought our little blowers here. Anyway, if you're feeling down, please reach out to somebody. Please reach out to somebody. And if you're not feeling down, be kind to everybody, because there's so many people going through so much right now during the holidays, whether it be a job loss, whether it be a family or a friend loss. There's just so much. Like I said, it's such a mixed bag. And reach out to somebody. Reach out to somebody. Even if you're doing great, reach out to somebody that isn't doing great. Please, please, please do that. We talk about it's all about the mindset. It's all about finding your joy again. Please, please, I beg of you. There's so many good facilities that you can reach out to in Lincoln, Omaha, and the surrounding areas. So, like our friend Ricky Simmons says, get your happy on. Okay. And also, this next year's going to be incredible for this station and for Next 24 and for Harrison. I just feel it in my bones. Now, Mike's giving me the evil eye, so I have to tell you who we're going to have on our show today. All right. We are thrilled to introduce Todd Uhlir. He's a former Nebraska walk-on and a very proud member of the 93 to 95 championship team. From the small town of Battle Creek, Todd's journey to earn a scholarship and compete with some of the greatest players in Nebraska football history showcases incredible perseverance and dedication. He's now a successful entrepreneur and a devoted family man. Todd's story is one of resilience and inspiration. Join us as we dive into his remarkable journey and the lessons he's learned along the way. And we're so excited to talk about him being a walk-on, since that's something that might be going away here with Nebraska, and it was such an incredible program. Let's give a warm welcome to our guest, Todd Uhlir.
Hey, Todd, how are you doing? Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you guys?
Well, how's it feel not only to be a former Husker, but a happy father today?
Yeah, happy. My son got to experience the bowl game. It's his first one. Obviously, it's the first one for anybody in a long time down there. So, he's back. He got back about 12:30 last night, and so I got to see him and got to hug him. And I didn't go out. Just had too many commitments here. I had
Todd, tell me, did they all fly in last night then? Is that what they did?
Yeah. So the team all flew back after the game. Yep. So now you could, there's a lot of guys that stayed and flew back home. They didn't all he flew back to Lincoln, since, he lives just 2 hours. We're 2 hours north.
Well, tell me, back in the old days when Nebraska would win a game and fly in after a bowl game, the airport was packed. Did he say
no, he didn't. He didn't say anything about that. I didn't see anything on the news about that. Yeah,
I don't think people knew, because on social media people were asking, when are they coming in?
Well,
we'd like to be out there, and nobody seemed to know what was going on. But I do have to tell you, Todd, as a parent, it just tickled me on social media watching you screenshot the TV when you saw a sighting of your son.
Yeah, actually, great story there. One of the kids that actually graduated with my little brother Tyrone, who was also a walk-on and earned a scholarship at Nebraska, was at the game and shot that picture and posted in the Battle Creek community Facebook page, and that's where I saw it. So it was pretty neat. And they were like, "Look at this! A kid from BC's, suited up for the Pinstripe Bowl in Yankee Stadium." So it's a pretty neat thing for Battle Creek. That community is not very big. That's where I grew up. Myself, my 4 brothers. It was like that was the way to get out of Battle Creek, right? was to go play football at Nebraska.
Well, Todd, let me reintroduce you properly. Again, people may not know, but you're a former Husker walk-on, a member of the 93-95 championship team. And we're excited to hear your story today. So let's jump in from the beginning. Tell us about what life was like for you growing up in Battle Creek.
Yeah, so actually I was born in Creighton, Nebraska, so even a smaller town.
Yeah.
My family originally started out in Niobrara, Verdigris area. My grandma and grandpa owned Green's Cafe, so entrepreneur kind of in the blood. In Niobrara, they owned Green's Cafe. My grandpa passed away from cancer when I was 3. I don't really remember him at all, but my grandma kept that business alive for a lot of years after that. But we moved to Battle Creek. Oh, I was 4 years old. So 1979, 78-ish, 79-ish. We moved to Battle Creek. I have 4 brothers, 2 older, 2 younger. I'm in the middle. And we didn't have it easy by any means. My mom, who she got a job at Burger King as the assistant night manager. So she worked nights. My dad worked at the pork plant in Madison. They figured living in Battle Creek, that way my dad could get to Madison and my mom could get to Norfolk, and we could still have that small town feel of Niobrara. Right. So, and needless to say, my parents worked like a lot. So we were pretty much left to our own vices. Yeah. And with 5 boys, we raised some, I bless the town of Battle Creek. they didn't cast us out or, that kind of thing. I might've started a fire once, that we had to call the fire department on, and I hid in the bathtub because I thought I'd be safe in the water.
So Battle Creek knew of the Uhlir boys, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we were we were in trouble a little bit here and there. But I wouldn't change my childhood. I didn't know we didn't have anything, right? So at one point we lived in a single wide trailer for a little over a year.
Wow.
And didn't know it at the time, but my grandpa stepped up and helped us buy a house in town. That's a house that we call home. I know that was a really hard thing for my mom to sell that house. Probably about 10 years before she passed away, about 2005.
Well, Todd, share with me the story. You told me the story the other day on the phones we talked, and that was really about how you early on in your life, your mother was your inspiration, and your mother really drove you toward football in high school. Talk about that story.
Yeah, basically. So my mom had my oldest brother when she was 16, like back in 1969. So that's a rough time to. It's a little different now, probably, than it was back then as far as teenage pregnancies. But she did everything she could for her kids, and gave us everything. Like I said, she worked her tail off, and just that work ethic, right? And she always told us, "You're going to college, you're getting an education, you're gonna be successul." And the only way you're really going to be able to do that is to play football. So, and from the first time I can remember watching Nebraska, probably 5 years old, Oklahoma, Nebraska on the TV, 1980, I knew like that's what I wanted to do. And my mom just absolutely, pushed. I wouldn't say it wasn't a bad thing, right? Like it wasn't like it is today with youth sports. Right. I just raised the son through all this youth sports stuff. I mean, he started playing flag football as a kindergartner, played tackle football as a second grader, little different now than it was back then, but she just always said, just keep outworking everybody, right? If you outwork everybody, they can't not notice you.
Yeah, Todd, but I want to talk about that with you a little bit because growing up in Nebraska, what I remembered as a young child, it was a dream. Everybody loved Nebraska football. Small town Nebraska, throughout the entire state of Nebraska, it was always for the young boys the dream to play at Memorial Stadium, to have the end, to play for these coaches. What was that? What was this vision like? What was this idea? What was your thoughts when you saw Nebraska playing on television when you were a young child?
I mean, I getting kind of chills, right? Kind of getting the hair stand up on my back of my neck just thinking about it.
Yeah.
What a different time. We didn't get it. Not every game was on TV, right? We had to listen to Kent Pavelka. And I think kids miss out on that because I would be outside, had the radio blasting, and seeing myself in these plays as Kent Pavelka's, talking about, explaining Turner Gill to Mike Rozier to Irving Fryer, guys like that, because I always want to be a running back. So my older brother was a running back, so I'm like, I'm going to be a running back, and just seeing yourself. And once again, some of that, we still teach, right? Like I still coach that. Like you have to have a vision in order to, really want to do the work, right? And obviously as I've gotten older, I've trained a lot of kids when I got into the training industry, and a lot of them have that dream, have that vision, but they don't understand the work that it takes behind it, right?
Todd, talk about your high school football career. Did you have some records? Talk about your football career, your experience, and the recruiting process. How did Nebraska get to know about you?
Yeah, so I went to Coach Snitzler. If people don't know who he is, he was the most winningest coach when he retired. Jeff Beller has since passed him, but I went my 8th grade year. I finally grew in 7th grade. I was like 4'10", 75 pounds in 7th grade. I grew, got bigger. I was like, all right, what do I need to do? I went to him. Obviously, I've been the ball boy, so I've been around him. Him and I had a great relationship. I said, what do I need to do? He says, you need to eat 8,000 calories a day and you need to lift 5 times a week and you'll play football at Nebraska. So I'm like, all right, we can do that. And I did. And he said, you need to go to this football camp. So I went to the Nebraska football camp as gonna be a freshman in high school. So got my name there. Was a little lucky. My older brother, Troy, walked on as well. So they knew the Uhlir name a little bit. But, back then they had freshman ball. They had like 225 guys on the team, maybe more. Can't remember. They had 2 separate locker rooms. There was a lot of guys on the team. So it's not like he stood out. He blew his knee in the spring game in 1989. But so I was kind of on the radar, right? But I was still small, still wasn't fast enough, all that good stuff. So, I was always told that you're going to be too small and you'll never be fast enough to play running back at Nebraska. And when you tell me I can't do something, guess what? I'm going to go. I did, I bought so started mowing lawns when I was 7, doing paper routes. I mean, we didn't have a lot of money. So the things that, I had to buy myself. So, bought the lift shoes. Don't know if you remember those, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
I trained in those. They obviously seemed to help a little bit. They were brutal though. They were hard to run in. But yeah, so that process, and then I knew, like I had to bring people with me. This is kind of when it wasn't all about me. It was about, there was 11 guys on my team, right? Like that. And we played both ways back then. We had 11 guys start on offense and 10 of us started on defense. Right. So how do I bring these guys along with me? Because I'm not going to look very good if they're not very good. Right. So leadership started pretty young, and Snitzler was pretty good about explaining that to me. He's like, you got to inspire these other guys. So guys like Matt Hoskinson, who walked on at Nebraska, Anthony Schmody, my brother-in-law who walked on at Nebraska, was on our team. Jay Korth went on a full ride scholarship to Wyoming. We pushed each other. We were, I got all the highlights. I got all the paper accolades, records, but those guys were unbelievably talented. I mean, 4 kids that went Division I off of a Class C1 team back then.
Wow.
I don't think most Class A teams get 4 kids to go to a Division I school, right? So
that's almost unheard of.
So that was the thing. So then I went again. The recruiting process, I went to the camp and had a really good camp the summer before my senior year. In my junior year, I rushed for over 2,000 yards. We lost in the state championship to our arch rival. Let's not bring that up. But so I had a really good junior year, over 2,000 yards, led the state in rushing. And so I was on the radar, right? Like I was preseason all Nebraska. I was one of the, and once again, I'll tell you, I couldn't have done that without these guys in front of me. I had a phenomenal team. And that just, like I said, I got most of the accolades for that, but
Todd,
it really was. Dan Young, Coach Young, recruited me. So that process started after I went to that camp, and I think I ran a 4.88 electronic. Had a pretty decent vertical. Did things that they Coach Solich was there. Got to see me go through the running back drills, that kind of stuff. And so Coach Young called me every week, once a week. How's it going, Todd? And I'm like, good. He wasn't much of a talker, but always checked in on me every week. And you don't know, like most kids don't understand the recruiting process. I had no clue. I was just waiting for an offer, right? But then all the other schools started calling. So, the Kearney, the UNK, it wasn't UNK back then. South Dakota State, USD, Kansas State, Iowa State, Missouri. They started calling. I started doing visits, and then finally Nebraska had me on a visit, an official visit, and still no offer. So I really liked South Dakota State. I really, they needed a running back. I could come in, probably start all 4 years. And I think that's what they might tell every kid at this point to get them to sign. But I had verbally committed to South Dakota State and literally told them, if Nebraska offers anything, I'm going to Nebraska. That's the dream, right?
That's the dream. Tell me, Todd, real quick. Tell me what you're telling me. You were telling me the story the other day, and I know the legends of the walk-on program and what it means. What it was like to walk on that field the first time you walked on Memorial State. Because you mentioned you had 50 students in your graduating class, yet you had 120, 150 kids out there for football?
We had at least 150 on our team. Yeah. So really, Nebraska did it right. We came in. So real quick. So the day before signing day, Tom Osborne walked into Battle Creek High School and said, "Hey, you want to walk on?" And I said, "Yes, sir." And so I had to call South Dakota State the day before signing day. That was how I got offered. And I said, "Yes, yes, sir." I mean,
what did that mean? What did that mean to you when Tom walks in?
Well, didn't know he was there, right? I got called to the guidance counselor's office. I thought, man, what'd I get in trouble for this time? And so, but Matt Hoskinson and Jay Korth also got called. So us three were like, what's going on? And we walk into the guidance counselor's office, and there's Coach Osborne. And, you just were like, oh, crap. And he asked us, he asked all three of us if we would come walk on. He thought that we'd be a really good addition to the team. And Matt and I both said yes. Jay said, hey, I got a full ride offer to Wyoming. I'm going to go there. So, and that worked out really well for Jay. Started for 4 years at Wyoming, got drafted by the Bears. Didn't make the NFL, but he got that experience of training camp and that kind of stuff. It was like having an out of body experience. It's almost like I was in on the other side of the room watching this happen when I got offered. So it was really, really cool.
Share with me the first time you walked into the locker room and saw your uniform.
Yeah, so kind of like I said, they did it right with us back then. They can't do it this way anymore. So as a new freshman, they brought you in 10 days before everybody else. And 93 was one of the last years they could do that. And so we came in just the freshman class. So there was like 45 of us, probably, 25 scholarship, 20 walk-ons. It's about 45 of us. So it was small, right? And it was just like I was at Battle Creek, but just bigger, right? We had the freshman locker room, which, to be real honest, Battle Creek's locker room was better than the freshman locker room at that time.
I've heard that. Yeah.
The freshman locker room was kind of scary. All right. It was like a dungeon. And so they brought us in. We went to did our physical, did all these things, and then came into the equipment room. And I always tell this story because, I came into the equipment room and there's a little doorway I went through, and I turned and I looked right, and there were some guys playing cards at a table. And then the equipment's over here. So I got to get my equipment with the equipment manager. I looked over, and one of the guys had a wife beater on, a do-rag. You don't see that at Battle Creek very often, right? So, and I looked at the equipment manager. I go, that is the biggest offensive lineman I've ever seen. And he goes, which one? I go, the guy in the do-rag. He goes, no, that's Lawrence Phillips. And I said,
wow.
That can't be Lawrence Phillips because he plays I-back and I play I-back. And the equipment manager said, well, good luck riding the bench. So that was the first experience I had in the locker room, in the equipment room, was meeting Lawrence Phillips. And
Todd, we need to take a quick break, Todd.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. When we start back, I'd like to talk about that experience because you told me where you lockered and who was on your left and who was on your right.
Yep.
We'll be right back, and we'll talk more with Todd Uhlir in just a minute.
Outside is where winter adventure unfolds. On frozen lakes, icy landscapes, and snow-covered slopes, feeling the cold air rush by as you race downhill. The freedom of gliding with ease and the warmth of being together. From epic sled rides to the fun of ice fishing, it's all right here beneath Nebraska skies. Start your winter adventure at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Associations and this station.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
An hour ago, you didn't need a plumber. Now you're in a panic. When life throws you a surprise with a clogged drain, plugged or leaky toilet, broken pipe, leaky faucet or water heater, or a bathroom or kitchen plumbing upgrade, whatever. Just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Keep that number handy, 467-1111. Or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Are you a veteran looking for a new companion animal? A dog, a cat, or maybe something else? The Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs Vets Get Pets program can cover up to $350 of your pet adoption fees. Visit veterans.nebraska.gov/vetsgetpets to learn more about program requirements and how to apply. Want to help support the program? Get your Vets Get Pets specialty license plates from the Nebraska DMV. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive. Always honest answers.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in December, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep the clubs out year-round. Book your holiday parties at Double Eagle Golf and make plans to join them for a New Year's Eve party. Gift cards make a great stocking stuffer for Christmas, and don't forget to look ahead to 2025 as spring leagues begin in February. That's all at Double Eagle Golf, inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln. It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score big on Kawasaki's all-new Ridge lineup. The Ridge XR, Ridge HVAC, and the Ridge Limited, all built to take on your day with a full factory cab, including heat and AC. Stop by Indian Motorcycle of Lincoln today and rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of December. Save big on their massive selection of side-by-sides, all-terrain vehicles, motorcycles, and power watercraft on end-of-the-year specials store-wide at their new 27th and I-80 location.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and the holiday sales event is now underway with unbelievably low interest rates and huge discounts on both our new and pre-owned inventory. Right now, we're offering 0% interest rates or $13,000 off select new models. These are the absolute biggest discounts of the year. You heard right, 0% interest rates or $13,000 off select new models. So please stop on in or check us out online at cobblecars.com. All deals with approved credit, must trade, and Costco.
Hey, Husker Nation. This is Todd Uhlir, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top-quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Kingdom Sports Minute with Ron Brown.
There is great pressure on the quarterback who is on a final drive down the field, which will produce victory or defeat. It's funny, over the years, I've seen pressure on one quarterback where he displays great panic. I've seen similar pressure on another quarterback who displays great poise. That's leadership. The Bible speaks about pressure often. Deuteronomy chapter 20 reveals a code for Israeli military soldiers as to determine which were qualified to fight from which should just go home. It was all based on fear levels in their hearts. Verse 8 reveals that fear in some of the men would influence fear in the others. So the fearful were sent home. Verse 9 reminds us that it would be from the courageous that captains and leaders would be revealed and launched. Proverbs 24:10 says, if you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small. Great leadership in Christ is biblically trained through the study of God's word and suffering.
Visit kingdomsports.online.
Back to What's Next 24 from the 93.7 The Ticket studio with the authors of Next 24, Michael Worrell and Sherry Tills.
All right, welcome back into What's Next 24. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. As always, you guys can join in using the stream. Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. We got Todd Uhlir, the Battle Creek walk-on, streaming in today. If you guys want to join in, like I said, feel free to use the streams or text line. I'll throw it over to the host, Mike and Sherry.
Let me just say really quick that I've forgotten the introduction. By the way, Todd has his own show right here on 93.7 The Ticket. And Todd, please forgive me because I don't remember the day and time of your show.
Yeah, it's the Power Hour with Todd Uhlir. It's at 11 a.m. on Saturdays. Wasn't here yesterday because of the pregame stuff. So, yep, Saturdays at 11 a.m.
Throw that plug in for you.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Well, and again, welcome back to What's Next, where our show, we try to discover where people can tell their stories and show perseverance and how they overcome. And again, Todd, we're so glad to have you on the show today to share the walk-on experience and what life was like. The interesting thing to me in your story, you happened to walk in as a walk-on during the time when Nebraska was at its peak. National
yeah.
championship teams walking in to a locker room with national talent and caliber and personalities. Share the story when you told me that you happened to locker between two people. Can you share that story?
Yeah. So in '93, as a walk-on, I'm on the scout team. I'm in the freshman locker room, and I'll tell you what, that was a really, really hard time. I quit 7 times the first semester. I would, didn't have cell phones back then. I'd walk back to my dorm room. I'd call my mom, Colette, on the phone, and I'd be like, Mom, like, I am getting beat up. I can't do this. And she's like, that's nice, sweetie. You can quit, but you can't come home. So
good for her.
and I'm glad I didn't, right? I think that first semester, my son just went through it. It's hard for everybody, but I had a really good spring in '94. And was able to be like, that's when the cuts started happening. Right. And so in '94, I was asked to come in early camp, which, like I said, '93 was the last year, like the freshmen could come in early, all this stuff. Like, they really started cutting down on a lot of this stuff. So I was asked to come back and made the travel squad in '94 as the 4th-string I-back. And that was just a really awesome thing. So it was Lawrence Phillips, Damon Benning, Clinton Childs, myself. What a great running back room to be in with those guys. And and then we had fullbacks: Corey Schlesinger, Jeff Makovic, Brian Schuster, and it was an awesome time. And then so when you make travel squad, you move up to the varsity locker room. So moved up to the varsity locker room in '94. Was right next to Lawrence Phillips in the varsity locker room. And then in '95, this guy, you might have heard of him, Amon Green, comes in, and they put Amon Green on the other side of me. So
Whoa.
I was between Lawrence Phillips and Amon Green lockering. And that's, to this day, my claim to fame. I lockered between those two guys, two of the best running backs to ever do it at Nebraska. And, it was interesting because they were polar opposites. Right. Yeah. Like Amon was all business, very dedicated, very quiet, great guy. And Lawrence was this loud kind of, he's going to tell you what's on his mind. He's, pretty uncontrollable at times, kind of personality. Right. And they both brought something different to the table. Unfortunately, I was in the process. I knew from that time that I saw Lawrence in the equipment room that I was probably going to have to move to fullback if I ever wanted to see the field, on a regular basis. I was not a great special teams guy because I watched my brother blow his knee on a punt coverage in the spring game. So I was like, nope, not for me. I'm not doing special teams. But yeah, so I knew that's the only way. So I came in at 185 pounds. By spring of '94, I was about 205. And by, the spring of '95, that's really kind of when I started the transition to fullback. I was playing both fullback and I-back. I was on both depth charts. One of the only guys on the team to be on 2 positions on the depth chart on the '95 team, wow, which is kind of crazy. I would have been 3rd-string fullback and 4th-string I-back. Had I not got hurt, I blew my shoulder right before the Michigan State game. They kept me back I was still practicing. I mean, my shoulder was bad, but I was still practicing because I was on the travel squad. I wanted to go, but they didn't take me to the Michigan State game. So I said, hey, let's just get this fixed. I'll come back in the spring and be a full-time fullback instead of really rotating between the positions. And unfortunately, I didn't get an opportunity to do that. Coach Osborne said, hey, after your surgery, 7.5-hour shoulder surgery, he said, hey, we're going to pay for the rest of your school, but you can't play football anymore. So that was kind of the end of my career with that shoulder injury.
Todd, before we go to that topic, I'd like to ask you one thing. I think the audience would love to hear this. Share us your favorite game day experience from walking through the tunnel to the field. Share that story.
So probably my favorite experience would be the 94 Orange Bowl, right? Like there was just it was an unbelievable atmosphere. There were so many Husker fans there in Miami's home stadium, and we're playing Miami. That was probably by far, just walking out knowing, like, I played in 2 state championships, which was pretty cool. A lot of kids don't get to do that. I lost one and I won one. We lost a national championship, but I didn't get to walk out. I was in the stands as a red shirt against Florida State the year before. So getting to actually suit up, walk out onto the field in that bowl game in 94, I posted a picture yesterday of me standing next to Tom Osborne that was on TV that another friend of mine snapped and sent me. That, and then winning, it was such a unreal experience. Like, I always say the birth of my 4 children and then walking out of that tunnel is number 5, right? Like, of on experiences.
I bet.
Todd, what did it mean to you to be not only from Nebraska, to be a member of Nebraska football? And as you look back 30 years later, would you do it again? And what does it all mean to you today?
Yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. Even though I've gone through 5 knee surgeries, I've had a total knee replacement, I've had 2 back surgeries, obviously the shoulder surgery. There's some things that I deal with at, going to be 50 in about 9 days. There's thanks. There's some things probably physically that I wish that I didn't have to go through right now because of football, but I wouldn't give it up for anything. The experience, and really the people I met that I still stay in contact, Rashawn, that's kind of how I got involved with the ticket, that kind of stuff. My Freddie Pollock, one of our offensive linemen, still super good friends with him. Just knowing these guys, and the relationships that we built, I wouldn't change it for anything. And, I raised my son to play baseball.
Yeah,
I really did. So he had Division I offers in baseball, in track and football. And I told him, take the baseball or the track scholarship and just go have fun. I said, because football is hard. I don't think he'll regret any of the days that he's going to spend as a Husker football player.
Todd, on our show, we talk about a lot of life's challenges, a lot of life's things. It had to be difficult as being an athlete. You're strong. You think you can go through, run through a wall. You get this type of injury, 7 hours of surgery, and Pat Clare was the surgeon, correct?
Yep.
Mentally, how did you work yourself through the process?
I 100% so I went into the surgery thinking it was going to be an hour and a half and that I would be back in 8 weeks, right? That was, we didn't do an MRI. We just knew it needed fixed. When I came out of it, Dr. Clare came in I was supposed to be in and out. So it was supposed to be an hour and a half surgery tops. I was supposed to get out that night. I woke up, it's dark out. My girlfriend, who's now my wife, is there, and she is pregnant with our first child, Taylor, at the time, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, why is it dark outside? Why am I not at home? And she's like, hey, the doctor will be in to talk to you, and and that was kind of when Dr. Clare said, like, it was bad, like it was one of the worst shoulders he's ever done, and he's done a lot of them, and so. I still had the mentality that I was coming back, right?
Well, Todd, I think, we talk about a 7-hour surgery, which is intense. I mean, that's some intense shoulder repair. But I don't think people really realize, besides just that 7-hour surgery, give us an idea of the time frame that it took with rehab and physical therapy and all the things that it takes to be able to even utilize that shoulder, let alone play football.
Yeah, so I was in a sling and non-movement for 8 weeks. 8 weeks without any movement. So I'd literally get up, go to treatment. Thank goodness I had, the training staff that we had with, Jerry Weber and Sullivan and those guys. They were awesome to work with. But I would just go for treatment every day and go to class every day. It was horrible because
Where was your mind at this point? Where were your emotions? I'm sure you had to fight through some depression.
I think I was really in survival mode. Like, I thought that, I guess I've always been a fairly positive person, right? Like, I just kept thinking about, well, it could be worse. It could be worse, right? And once again, I get to do this. Like, I use that phrase with the clients that I work with. Like, I get to do this. Not everybody gets to experience the things that I've got to experience.
And that is the key. That's where everything comes together in that mindset to fight through. It doesn't matter whether it's an injury. It doesn't matter whether it's, a life-changing incident, losing a spouse, losing a child.
Yeah.
You get to keep going.
Yep. Yeah. And so, and obviously we're at the pinnacle of Nebraska football. So, I just kept, and I knew I had a spot if I could rehab the shoulder. I just didn't really realize how bad I actually heard it in spring ball, but didn't really say anything. And so I
one of those bad things, right?
One of those. Well, I, and not to be critical of coaching staff or anything like that, but you get hurt. You're like, especially kind of and I still probably I was on scholarship in '95, in the fall of '95. I earned a scholarship, but I still had the walk-on mentality. And that was, you got to fight for everything. You can't be hurt. You can't show signs of weakness, any of that. Right. So when I got hurt in spring, I popped it out in spring. I just, I sucked it up. And they didn't, Doak Ostertag, who I worked with a lot. I was one of the first persons to use his Soli brace on my shoulder. And, he's like, hey, man, you don't need to practice. And I'm like, yeah, I do. I'm a walk on, right? Like, I have to. And I'm glad I did. I ended up breaking the spring game longest touchdown record in the '95 spring game with an 89-yard touchdown run with a bad shoulder. So that's probably the highlight of my career as far as, on the field, was that 89-yard touchdown in the spring game. Bobby Newcomb broke it a couple years later, though.
Excuse me, Todd. Todd, due to time, let's pivot forward real quick, because I want to make sure to get this information in. I know you had to make a really tough decision. Football's over with. You probably felt it was maybe a little bit incomplete. I'm sure you had dreams and things you wanted to do. Talk about, your mother played a crucial role when you left college.
Yes.
Yep.
And you had to decide to work. Tell us about the Burger King story.
Yeah. So, like I said, my mom started at Burger King in 1979. She, as an assistant night manager, she ended up becoming the restaurant manager, and she ended up becoming the director of operations over 9 stores that this guy owned. And when I hurt my shoulder, my older brother was already running a store. And so we came back. When I came back in '96, we made plans to buy the 2 locations here in Norfolk. And so we did that in '97. And we worked our tails off. I spent a lot of hours in that Burger King, but that was, I had a kid, got married, all that good stuff, needed to support my family. And so I spent a long time at Burger King, actually 24 years on the payroll officially at Burger King. And, in probably 2010, I started getting like, this isn't what I want to do for the rest of my life, right? Like, it provides a great income. It provides for my family, but it's not fulfilling whatsoever, right? Like, and not necessarily the customers. I never had a problem with customers. I had a problem with the staff, right? Like,
Todd, I need to break in. We need to take a break. Let's move next. We'll go into what you're doing today, and the value of the business and following your dream. We'll be right back in just a moment with Todd Uhlir.
Bagels & Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in December. Try one of their delicious breakfast sandwiches or grilled breakfast burritos. Don't forget to snag a gift card for stocking stuffers and bring your family in from out of town. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels & Joe.
You're working out, eating right, living a healthy lifestyle, but your energy sucks. This could be a sign of low testosterone. Where do you turn for help? The answer is Limitless Male, the #1 testosterone clinic for men in the Midwest. Start by scheduling your free consult at one of our 13 clinics. If low T is the diagnosis, a custom treatment plan will get your energy back on track. What are you waiting for? Schedule your free consult at limitlessmale.com.
At Midwest Bank, they want to thank all the generous donors who helped make their 2024 Turkey Drive for Schools a success. Thanks to the generosity, they raised enough money to provide 153 families across 6 different schools in Lincoln with a full Thanksgiving meal. With your support, they made Thanksgiving Day for those families a little brighter. They want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
Hey guys, it's Austin with 93.7 The Ticket. Tune in Thursday night starting at 6:30 for Thursday Night Football. We're bringing you a matchup of AFC North teams. It's division bottom feeder Cleveland hosting division leading Pittsburgh. The Browns allowed 21 unanswered fourth quarter points to the Saints and lost 35-14 on Sunday, while the Steelers kept the Ravens at arm's length in the division race with an 18-16 win in the Steel City. Catch Thursday night's game and all the biggest NFL games right here on Lincoln's home for the NFL, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Patriot Plumbing at 402-464-7411 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-464-7411.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Your Christmas list changes a lot as you get older. Dreams of video games, remote control cars, and baseball gloves turn into dreams of shoes. You know, practical things. Brown Shoe Fit is the king of shoes in Lincoln, with brands like Sorel, UGG, Brooks, Hoka, and more to make you fashionable and comfortable. Grab a new Ridge wallet or buy 3, get 1 free on Smart Wool socks for the ultimate stocking stuffer. And don't forget a reliable gift card for that hard-to-buy person in your life. Brown Shoe Fit at 66th and Q in Lincoln.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to What's Next 24 from the 93.7 The Ticket studio with the authors of Next 24, Michael Worrell and Sherry Tills.
All right, welcome back into What's Next 24. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. As always, we got the host Mike and Sherry in studio to my left, as well as Todd Uhlir streaming in. We did get this one over the text line, and I'll read this one off the bat here because it's a shout out for Todd Uhlir. Not an unknown texter, 1542. Hey, this is a friend from Tom's past. Tell him it's him and his mom's favorite employee, Eric Wilson. Nice to hear from him and talk about his experience. So I want to get that out there. Mike and Sherry, throw it back to you guys.
Todd, thank you so much for just sharing your whole life story. I know we're kind of running out of time and there's so much I want to cover. I'm going to turn it over to you, Todd. Would you share your personal development story? You had a mindset of change of wanting to live your passion and what you really wanted to do out of life. Tell us what you're doing today and what it means to you.
Yeah, awesome. So yeah, like I said, Burger King for 24 years. I just knew that was not going to be fulfilling for me. I don't think that was God's calling for me. And I got into the fitness kind of lifestyle, struggled with my weight, guys. After that surgery, I would tell people, yeah, I played football at Nebraska, and they would be like, offensive line or defensive line? I'm like, no, I was a running back. I weighed 290 pounds. I was big, and I'm only 5'10" with my shoes on. And so, was on that hamster wheel for 20 plus years. And so, I'm like, all right, I'm going to fix this. And just became really passionate about fitness. And with the mindset that goes with it, right? Like, how do we do this and keep it off forever? And even when I went into the fitness space in 2013, when I opened, I left Burger King October 1st of 2013. So it's been 11 plus years, and opened my own gym in 2014, Set the Bar Fitness and Nutrition. Went into that space. I still struggled because I never took care of the mindset. I was not living intentionally. I was living reactionary. I wasn't purposeful with how I trained, how I ate, even though I was trying to tell other people how to do it. Right. So in 2019, I sold the gym to my head coach because I was literally working from 4:30 in the morning till 9:30 at night. Saw my kids when they came to train with me, which was twice a week at that time, and took everything online in 2019. Was able to spend a ton of time traveling with my son to baseball stuff, to different football camps. That kind of stuff was awesome. From 2019 to 2024 when he graduated. And, so I'm glad I did that. Took it all online. So we currently have the STB locker room. So that's at stblockerroom.com. We run a group for guys 40 plus that, want to become the MVP of their own lives. Right. So many times, like guys like me get on the radio and they're like, oh, everybody thinks it was easy. Like, oh yeah, but you played football in Nebraska. You just like, listen, I struggled for more years than I've been good. Right. So, we train simple, small, daily habits that are long-term transformation. This isn't a quick fix. It's a long-term, type of thing. And, I've been blessed to have the guys come into the locker room and get amazing results. And we're just launching our own app, that we're literally launching that as we speak. It started yesterday. So, you can go to stblockerroom.com, click on join our group, and you can see all the details there. But I did everything on Facebook for the last 3 years. And we're moving our own platform so I can deliver better, can get, help to guys quicker than on Facebook. So excited
Todd,
about the
we've only
future.
got about maybe 30 seconds left. We want to turn the mic over to you, and you get to say anything you'd like to say to the community that's important to you today. What would you like to say?
Well, first, thanks. Like, Husker fans are the best. I love the fact that I was able to be a part of so many awesome experiences. And, you know, the support of Husker Nation is always top notch. So I'm grateful that I had that experience, and for the amount of years I have. Like, we had our 30-year reunion. It was awesome, and it's always been just unbelievable support. So I can't just say thank you enough for Husker Nation, man. It's just a special thing, and hopefully after this bowl win, we got some good stuff coming in the next couple of years. So
Todd, we need to wrap it up. We just want to thank you for being that special walk-on and all your determination. Best of luck with business in your show.
Awesome.
Todd, so
Thanks, guys.
much.
Thanks for having
Happy New
me.
Year.
Appreciate it.
Happy
Happy New
birthday.
Year. Yes, thank you. Yep.
See you next week, everyone.